Hey everybody, welcome to Neil Talks. My name's Neil, and it's time to talk QI. This week's viewer recommendation takes us to the launch of the 8th series of the show, the H series as it were, and an episode that's been recommended to me for unknown reasons, which is the way I like it. I don't know who's in this episode, I don't know what to look forward to. It's going to be a nice way to have my morning coffee, so let's jump right into it. This one's called Hodge-Podge.
Tonight we have a higgledy-piggledy hodgepodge of things beginning with H. And joining me tonight are the humongous Phill Jupitus!
Humongous? That's not nice.
A hyperbolic Ross Noble!
Nice. Haven't seen Ross in a bit.
The hygienic Jack Dee! And ho-hum, it's Davies! And Phill goes.
Ring-a-ding, 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 ring-a-ding.
Yeah, thank you.
Not the first time we've done that.
So not sorry. So, why do bankers like long-haired men?
Oh, hello. I mean, come on.
That's
and
charming.
the scariest thing is I'm wearing the same shirt. You are, isn't it?
I've got to hand it to you, Ross. You've got lovely legs.
Yeah. Oh, God, I've only just noticed you.
The full question is, why do bankers like long-haired men and short-skirted women?
Bi-curious.
What do financiers look for? When are they happiest?
Good
When
investments.
they're rolling in money.
Yes, and when do they earn more money?
In the summer?
In the 60s.
Yes! Now, it just so happens that throughout the 20th century, the length of women's skirts in fashion was exactly correlated to the rise and fall of the stock market.
Really?
As skirts got shorter and shorter, right up to the Wall Street crash, instantly skirt lengths got longer again during the Depression.
Correspondingly, long hair means a boom?
Yes.
Interesting. So the better the economies go and the more carefree we are with the way we look.
What starts with H and means that you'll always be the bridesmaid and never the bride.
Hepatitis C.
Oddly enough, you're surprisingly close in it.
Herpes.
Halitosis?
Halitosis is the right answer.
I could have come up with that and got the laugh in the first place.
Halitosis was made up.
Yeah.
It was made up by
Listerine.
Listerine, the company
Oh.
that made Listerine.
Oh, is that a...
And they had this
Oh, that's a
product
terrible
that they named
looking
after
mouth.
Joseph Lister. They used it, first of all, as an antiseptic. And then, without changing the formula, it was for washing floors. And then it was a cure for gonorrhea. And then they thought, we'll call it a mouthwash. And so they had to invent a problem for it to solve. And they started this campaign, dentists saying 83% of patients have halitosis. And people began to get very nervous about...
Self-conscious.
...about their breath.
How can you tell someone?
It's so difficult. That was one of their campaigns, actually.
That's why packets of mints were invented.
Yeah.
'Cause I always feel like someone's offering me a mint. That's definitely
That's
what
Yeah. Would you like some gum? Is absolutely code for your breath stinks.
People had probably eaten things to sweeten their breath before. But,
Sure. Mint's been around forever.
I had a picture taken once with a koala.
Well, there's a point.
You could just leave that there.
Breath was amazing.
It's sweet.
It was pure eucalyptus, like Albus oil.
And even their fur smells lovely.
It's really amazing.
Yeah.
They looked at me like...
Is that the excuse you used when you started putting the moves on it? Koala started it. It was cuddling me. Next thing you know...
So if you had a really bad throat, could you get yourself a koala bear and put it in a big bowl and a tea towel?
Australian asthmatics going, oh, no, dear, getting a koala out.
Wouldn't that have been brilliant?
Tickle his feet.
Who might use a left-handed motorbike?
Well, so that's just swapping the brakes and the accelerator.
Was it something to do with needing your right hand free for holding a gun, or...?
Yes!
I don't know.
The Indian Motorcycle Company,
Oh, okay.
Motorcycle, in fact, they call themselves.
Yeah, we know about Indian.
Between the wars, they were the largest motorcycle company in the world. And part of it was because they sold so many of these left-handed bikes to
Cowboys.
To cowboys? Was
the
it?
police.
Oh, the police.
The police all over America.
Why didn't they just fix a bayonet on the front?
That would be...
Not to stab them or anything, just to get cheeky. Just a cheeky pull.
It needs to be a bayonet then.
Well,
A lance, then.
like a broom handle.
Cucumber or something.
I've got some left-handed things here,
Oh.
some of which you can see the point of. This is a left-handed...
Ned Flanders would be very excited.
It's rather peculiar.
It's all rather
shape,
sinister.
though.
It makes me feel slightly sick looking at it.
It's,
But don't they
so you
say
don't
that-
smudge.
Like
lefties
left-handed people are like naturally evil. That's what they say, isn't it? that's a well-known fact.
The origin of the word.
It's really hard to write with.
That has already annoyed me.
Well, that's how a left-handed
The last
person would
thing
feel with ours, then.
Well, they should have just adapted when they were younger.
They should have tied their hand back behind their back for longer when they were young.
No, left-handed scissors, of course, are quite well known.
Oh, don't give a left-hander scissors.
They
They'll
used to
stab you in the face as soon as look at you.
It's where the word sinister comes from, isn't it? Isn't that
Yeah.
right?
Sinister, indeed, is the Latin for left, yeah. If you're ambisinistrous, what does that mean? It kind of means you're crap with both hands.
Oh.
This will annoy you, then. A left-handed can opener.
The only thing that can annoy Jack more now is if he opens that can and it's all left-handed peaches.
Can't eat any of them.
There is a left-handed shop where you can buy all these things, and my sister is left-handed, and I actually thought one Christmas I will buy her something, you know, there'll be a thoughtful thing. And there's a shot, goes straight, bang, right into it, and of course the door opened on the other side.
Why do you think motorbikes aren't charged congestion fees in London? Yes, Ross Noble.
You're expecting us to say because they don't cause congestion and the thing will go whoop, whoop, whoop. But it's because of the cameras. They don't have a plate on the front.
Yeah.
So the camera only takes a photo from the front, so there's no way of knowing who it is.
You are absolutely right, and there are points in you for
Thank you
that.
very much.
Yeah. Check out Mr. Noble.
That is the only thing I know.
They used to have a number plate on the front mudguard.
They did, sideways on. Sort of.
Absolutely lethal.
You know what would be brilliant is if they had, like, external airbags, so that as soon as you hit somebody, your car became a bouncy castle. So they, oh, no, and a bang, hey! Or, like, you're just about to be run over and go, oh, better take my shoes off.
Why would a hoplephobe be particularly nervous of a Sturmgewehr 44 with a Krummlauf modification?
Something 44.
Is it a firearm?
It is a
Is it a
firearm.
machine gun?
Funnily enough, I have one. Oh, assault rifle. Somebody speaks German there. Sturmgewehr.
That was slightly scary,
but
wasn't
it's
it?
the. I've got 8 in my bunker. I can't tell you where it's a secret location. The Krummlauf is the interesting part.
Oh, I can see
The
it.
Krummlauf is this modification.
They don't like it happen.
Oh, does it shoot around corners?
You shoot over a wall or round a corner, and this is a periscope. It has been deactivated, I promise you. There is
As
no
he
chance
pointed
it's
at the
been
crowd.
checked and double-checked, but I can see the audience in my... And I can see the sights as well in the periscope.
I can't imagine the muzzle velocity is high on a weapon like that.
It's a much more modern development. There it is.
I've seen this
That
one.
is
Much cooler just to go.
Oh, yes. Jerry didn't win the war, as you probably know.
Oh,
we gave
okay.
him a bit of an old spanking, as a matter of fact.
Please tell me on the other side of the desk you got the left-handed one.
Do they have, like, ones that go that way and ones that go that way? Because that would really annoy if you ran up and you went,
Yeah.
oh,
And a hoplephobe is someone who hates weapons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was someone who's scared of hooplas.
Is that related to hoplite then?
An irrational fear of weapons, generally guns, usually occurring as a result of a liberal upbringing. Or
That's not
person
irrational.
is just a wimp in general.
What's that from?
He wrote that.
You may have done assault rifle.
I bet he wrote it with a left-handed.
Now, don't play with it, because they did ask that nobody else touch it, because it is very valuable. I'm afraid I was given specific Alan not to touch it instructions.
No matter what.
Somewhere there's a memo that just says, machine gun for Stephen Fry's use only.
Anyway.
It's not a machine gun, it's an assault rifle.
So why did the bomb disposal expert go to the joke shop?
Something you can get in a joke shop that helps you with bomb disposing. Fake poos.
Whoopee cushions. Joy buzzers.
Put a whoopee cushion under to release the pressure plate.
That's quite smart thinking. It's not that, actually.
Oh, is it that squirty stuff?
Oh, silly string.
Silly string.
Silly string.
Silly string. In case there are tripwires, very invisible tripwires, and you spray it and they fall on the tripwire without triggering it. And particularly they have, of course, fluorescent silly string.
Oh, okay.
It's nice that that's a real thing, but I just prefer them leaning over a bomb going...
Anyway.
Sarah Millican does it better.
You can't fit a square peg in a round hole.
Sure you can.
So how do you make a square hole with a round drill?
I would drill 4 small holes that don't laugh before it's happened. I'm thinking while I talk, corners, and then with a hacksaw I would join them and knock
jigsaw,
the
but
square
I get his
through.
idea.
That would have been brilliant if it had gone whoop, 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 and every word you said.
One day! There's a particular shape, a sort of circular triangle, which, when it revolves, a
circular
makes
triangle.
a square.
What?
Circular triangle.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, no. This is your first time. This sort of thing happens all the time.
It's a sort of circular triangle. And it makes
The sun's not there.
It's the fact that I now realise there's a possibility that you could have a Toblerone Rolo combo.
do you know what will freak you out completely, Ross Noble? Is the name for this form of triangle is a rouleau. It genuinely is. It's a rouleau triangle, it's what it's called. And it's
I want to
very
see this
particular
thing.
shape.
You know,
Have
if
we
we
got
come
one
on
and
this
am I allowed
show
to play with
and
it?
we discover things, I've just discovered that the best 3 words to hear in a Geordie accent are Toblerone Rolo combo.
Go on, Geordie man, dance first.
Yeah.
My God. Right, OK. Do you want to see a picture of this
Yes.
rouleau triangle?
Yeah.
There it is. And that is the drill bit, and it is describing a square, if you see. Exactly. Isn't that crazy? How loony is that? Now, that shape may be familiar if you like cars and bikes.
It's a can.
Piston. Rotary piston.
Yeah.
Which is known as a...
That's a Mazda thing.
Wankel, if we prefer to say it that
Wankel
way.
was a
R7s,
bloke,
R8s.
wasn't he? If your name was Vankel,
Yeah.
just go, what are you going to do with your life? Well, it's going to have to be engines, isn't it? Or sex toys.
And I, for one, looking at that, I'm glad that he went the engine path.
This is from an ordinary cylinder. And you can do something, again, that you're not supposed to be able to do.
Wedge the door open on a rabbit hutch.
You've got the 3 play school windows. You've got the square, the triangle.
You can...
Perfectly fit through all 3.
Yeah, it's also a triangle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Triangle. And
It's also a circle.
Isn't that amazing?
Can we just leave that, like, at a playgroup and watch the kids' heads explode?
No, it doesn't work now.
It stopped working.
It's not working. Broken. Get the AA man.
Square.
Square, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Triangle.
Come on, Alan.
He wasn't great at school.
You
Alan.
realise, if you get this through, a banana comes out of a chute.
A polar bear biscuit.
No bananas for you.
No.
Let me
Well
play
done,
with the
class.
gun. I want to play with the gun that shoots around corners.
No, you can't play with the gun.
Special instructions. Don't let Alan play.
While we're sanding and polishing, what is the roundest thing in the universe? Yeah.
No, just saying.
Oh, no.
Oh. Okay, so you need something with insanely high gravity to work out all the imperfections in an oblate spheroid.
Purely round, in other words. Because if you...
Well, the Earth is thingy, is it squashed? It's not round.
No, that's right, it's an oblate spheroid.
Yeah.
Oh, Nelly Furtado!
A liquid drop, a water drop.
No, because gravity will distort.
We're actually further out
In a
of space
vacuum,
than
it
Earth,
might
beyond Earth. It's a cosmic phenomenon.
Is it a black hole?
It's that kind of a...
Is it like a neutron star or something?
When a supernova has a gravitational collapse, it turns into something called a neutron star.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, the neutron star.
Jimmy Neutron star.
It's not round!
No, that's not... That's a supernova.
Oh, no,
I
Phil,
think,
that's
Javier.
perfectly
That's a
round.
supernova.
Then show us the round thing!
It only has a diameter of about 15 miles or so, and there isn't one near enough for you to be able to see it with the
Yeah.
naked
Have
eye.
you ever noticed how we always have to take Stephen's word for it?
But what's interesting is that if I had a thimbleful of a neutron star, it would weigh more than a mountain.
Yeah, but you don't.
Yeah.
Imagine how confused the old woman darning your socks would be. That's no way to treat the elderly.
You're right.
And when you've got a good cleaning lady, you want to hang on to them. You don't want to mess it around. I'm leaving, Mr. D. Why? Well, because of all this space business with your thimbles. I don't like it.
It might have double the mass of the sun, and the highest mountain on it weighs 5 millimetres, so it is superbly round. The point about the Earth is it's actually jolly smooth compared to, say, a billiard ball.
Smoother than a ping-pong ball, isn't it?
Yes, now why is that a snooker ball...
I'm sorry, I did not know there would be a follow-up question.
Yeah. Which brings me round to a hypothetical question. What's made of jelly and lives forever?
Shark-infested
Some
custard.
jellyfish don't age.
And what sort of jellyfish would live forever?
An
the Highlander.
eternal jellyfish.
An eternal, or as it is
The
known,
Highlander.
the immortal jellyfish.
The immortal jellyfish, as I was about to say.
Yeah, you were. It doesn't die. What happens after it sexes?
I'm going to sex ya. Marjorie, shall we sex?
Can't talk now, I'm sexing.
But anyway, after it's sexed, it can then turn back into a child. Its cells change, and it literally goes, as it were, back in time and just starts again.
that would
it's
be
the
a
same creature. Now, what about human attempts to be immortal or to rejuvenate at least? What was the great popular one earlier in the
Cliff Richard?
20th century?
Cryogenics.
Cryogenic.
Well, that doesn't really rejuvenate. That's just kind of waiting until there's a cure, isn't there? But
Monkey glands, royal jelly.
monkey glands. And what do they mean by monkey glands?
The glands
what
of
sort-
a monkey.
Glands, were they? They were
Testicles?
It started as human testicles, I'm sorry to say.
They're perfectly round.
If you were to scale them up to the size of the Earth, they'd take hours to scratch.
There was a man called Sergei Vonarov, who was a Russian who lived in Paris.
Hello, ladies. And I'm talking about the dude in the middle.
It started as human testicles, that he would inject parts of the human testicle.
Is that what he told the ladies, was it?
You don't get many majors managing English football teams.
Managing the
Or
sex.
indeed sexy.
I love the fact that you did one impersonation of me, and now you can't use grammar at all. Next week's QI has been cancelled. Noble has infected Fry's brain.
Fry's been nobilized.
Get the monkey balls out, we're sexing it tonight.
Then the manager of Plymouth made his team inject themselves or be injected with monkey. And
That's
so
got to be an interesting team talk, isn't it?
So, boys.
it was, of course, bollocks in every sense. But how do snakes manage when their lunch is bigger than their head?
Ring, ring, ring a ding.
Yes, Ross.
They dislocate their jaw, right?
They don't do any such thing. They just have very stretchy, wide mouths. They have a special bone, which in mammals has become our anvil and...
So the choice was I could either hear very well or eat something bigger than my head.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Essentially, it's this quadrate.
Evolution!
Doesn't it slip out or something?
No, it's a double-jointed hinge. But sometimes they do overreach themselves. There was a case in 2005 in the Everglades of Florida. That is an alligator inside a snake. But the alligator was still alive inside the snake and tore at and the python exploded. Well, I think the alligator probably was dead as well, unfortunately, by this time. It had got both dead.
Not a happy ending.
There were no
for anyone.
winners. And what you may ask what a Burmese python was doing in the middle of
It was
Florida.
a pet.
Was
It was
on holiday.
released.
It was on holiday.
So rule of thumb, don't eat a live alligator whole.
What does a judge do when he wants order in his court? Here. Yes.
Man.
He bangs his gavel.
British judges have never had gavels. Never. They do on some television programs.
Sometimes if they're conducting an auction at the same time, they do.
If they were conducting...
Judges
don't have gavels. No.
In the UK.
I was a judge in Kingdom.
You were?
And I had a gavel in that, so...
Another reason why that show
That's why
went
it's
tits up.
cancelled. Finally, the notorious pirate Blackbeard has just given me a map. What does the X mark?
The spot.
Come on. Come on, Alan.
The fact is, there is no case in history that anyone knows of pirates burying treasure and
Does it mean the whole...
drawing maps with X's on. It all comes from
Treasure Island.
Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. That's
Well,
what
they can
do.
hardly go to Bradford and Bingley, can they? A chest full of doubloons and booty. Yes, would you like fixed term or extended income?
Oh, God, I went to the Bradford and Bingley and got stuck behind a bloody pirate.
No known pirate to have
Man's
a...
face is the colour of a strawberry. That's incredible.
What do you know who that is?
No, I don't.
Right, it's Robert.
Robert Newton, yeah, who really
defined
invented pirate speak.
Yeah.
Jim Lad.
That's
is Robert
all
Newton.
from him.
There's an International Talk Like a Pirate Day, isn't there, in September?
Somalian.
Somalian?
I met a kid from Somalia.
Yeah.
He came up alongside me on his push bike. He said, "You was on TV, innit?" And I said, "Yes, yes, nice to see you. You got to help me get into TV. How do I get in?" I said, "Well, you know, join your local drama group." I don't know what I said to him. He goes, "I'm Somalian, but I can do Eritrean." And I'll see what I can do. I'll speak to the producers of Jonathan Creek.
With a staggering +2 points is Jack Dee.
Yeah.
Oh, he's nonplussed.
In second place, a very creditable entry into the QI stakes is our newcomer, Ross Noble, with -6. It's Alan on -8. Well done.
It's a good Alan score.
Hanging his head in shame on -10 is Phill Jupitus. And I leave you with this. Good night.
Ross's first appearance was a good one. I like that one. Just a good cross-section of regulars. I know this Ross isn't a regular at this point, but he's a regular in my mind because I've seen him a bunch of times on the show. I learned recently that until the current series, Series T, Phill Jupitus had held the record for the highest number of guest appearances on the show. And I just sort of had the random thought towards the end of this episode, I wonder what his cumulative score is. The fact is 9 times out of 10, guests get a negative score. So I imagine Phil's cumulative is pretty darn negative. Because he's also not afraid to go for the klaxon, you know? And are there cumulative score tallies out there? And I mean, obviously Alan must have the greatest sum negative, because he's been in every episode except the one, which I haven't stumbled across yet. But apparently there was a Liverpool match that he didn't want to miss. Nevertheless, Bill Bailey is next in line with the most number of appearances, but Bill, I would imagine, tends to do marginally better than Phil. And now it makes me wonder which guest with a positive cumulative score has had the most appearances. Like, it's fine to be a one-time guest and to pull a positive score off. Not easy, but I'm sure that's happened a handful of times. But how many people still have a positive score after 2, 3, 4 appearances? I know none of it matters. I know you guys are going, Neil, the scores don't matter. I know. Doesn't make me stop wondering. about random data. And don't you dare tell me that the scores don't matter on Taskmaster. They absolutely matter on Taskmaster. I know they don't really matter here. But I also remember the episode where a few contestants' scores got corrected, because that was knowledge, I believe. Because they basically said stuff that appeared in prior episodes of QI has since been proven wrong. And so we have to adjust your points accordingly. And I don't know what formula they applied, but Joe Brand got a bump, and who else was on that episode? There was a newbie who got no benefit. I think it was Jimmy Carr was the other one who got the nice bump. But then Alan got a bump of like 700 points or something. But I can't imagine that pulled him out of the hole that he's in after 20 series of the show. Are there QI nerds out there who can point me towards a cumulative score table that I can peruse and manipulate? These are the things I start thinking about after watching something in the order of 60, 70 episodes of this show. And then I realize that there are something in the order of 300 episodes of this show. And I've got so many more to go, which is kind of awesome. Anyway, Jack Dee's fun and dry. I love when Phil's got a particular brand of humor that is very QI specific. Or rather, he pulls out this QI, I'm not sure if it's a persona or whether it's like genuine frustration. But I think it's ever since that episode where he was told the sun isn't there when you see it setting, that it's actually below the horizon while it still appears that it is. You know the one I'm talking about. Righteous indignance that he's being told that the sun isn't there when he's looking at the sun. And I think ever since then, he has these moments where it's just like, stop messing with my head. It's not round. Yeah. Just fun. It's a comfort place. It's a perfect morning coffee show. Keep sending recommendations to me and I'll keep watching them, guys. Although I've been thinking about taking a little break from the show for a month or so, because I want to check out a few more big fat quizzes. And I simply don't have the time to do QI. Well, to add a show like that to the schedule. My biggest editing challenges are the shows that are packed full of dialogue. QI takes me more than twice as long to edit as a typical drama of a similar length. So you can only imagine that Big Fat Quiz is even more of an editing task. And so I'd love to get into some of those. A lot of them have been recommended to me, but I have to put something aside to attempt to do that. So I may take a pause from QI for a couple of months while I switch over to Big Fat Quizzes. I don't know, just toying with the idea. Let me know what you guys think. But I've still got plenty of recommendations on my list. I have no intention of stopping QI, don't worry. I will return to it if I decide to take a brief hiatus from it. I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. Thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate all the time you spend here on Neil Talks. It really does mean a lot to me. And until next week, everybody, take care, stay healthy. We'll see you soon. Cheers.